What's up, guys? We are back, and I can officially make a video explaining to you what has been going on here at BRG. If you've noticed in the content, I've only made a couple videos with some shorts and some posts and so on and so forth. What has been a wild ride here at BRG. So let me explain to you what's been going on. So our friends, the hackers, are back. They're coming at me for the second time, but this time we were prepared for them. So let's get into this. On March 2nd of this year, I'm sitting there at work and I start getting ding, 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 ding on my phone. Absolutely going insane. I'm like, what is going on? So I looked at my phone text and my bank was just hammering down. Operators getting a hold of me left and right saying fraud alert, fraud alert, fraud alert. And I'm like, oh no. So I'm thinking like, good God, not again. So I get to looking around and man, these guys are all over. They got my YouTube at this point. They've got my BRG bank account. They've got my BRG Facebook and they are just hammering down. So I'm like, my God, where do I start? And if you didn't see the first time they got me, man, alive, they had my channel shut down and everything. I'll leave a link in the description. All right, so the first thing I did is I reached out to my bank, gave them a call. They told me what was going on right quick. I said, shut everything down, kill the cards, kill the account, do whatever you got to do to protect all the money. And if you remember from the first time I was hacked, I reached out and was able to get a YouTube representative to protect our channel, right? So I reached out with an email to them and said, hey, are you seeing what's going on? The next thing I did, as you guys know, we're blue check marked on BRG and my personal Facebook page. So I reached out to their fraud center and said, hey, this is going on. Somebody has our Facebook page. And then finally, I reached out to our local law enforcement and let them know what was going on, how my bank account was being compromised, my Facebook and YouTube. There wasn't nothing they could do about the social medias. However, with them getting into my bank information, we now have a federal crime. Now all I can do is wait. I have reached out to YouTube, I've reached out to Facebook, and I've reached out to my bank. Everybody's got to start doing what they got to do. So let me tell you what we found out. All right, so the first thing I did is I got into my YouTube studio here, and I went to look at my channel, and my subscribers said, didn't say 0, but it just had a little line here. I'll post a screenshot for you real quick. Learning from last time's experience, I went ahead and I looked through my audience, and I'll explain why here in a minute. But I was looking for one country in particular, and here it is, India. Now, the last time I was hacked, India was all the way up here in the number 3 spot, right? And the issues I've had before with other people getting in here starting troubles, it seems to me that this country, India, appears to be always up here in the top, meaning they're watching or being involved in my content somehow. Now, some of you might be asking, well, why does that matter? Why does India matter? Well, if you watch a YouTube channel called Scammer Payback, he's the dude with the blue hair. This is like consistently what he and his team do 24/7 is they go after scammers who are going after either bank accounts or trying to scam you through Norton or trying to scam you through other platforms, out on the internet. Well, YouTube and Facebook are some of those platforms. So the last time I was hacked, I done a boatload of research, and from what I take from his channel is anytime they're involved or on your audience retention or your audience analytics, if India's in there within that top 5, start changing your passwords, start checking on your security system, get everything checked. Now, anytime I see India, try to, within that top 10, I change my passwords on Facebook and in YouTube because I feel if they're that heavily involved in my channel, there's got to be a reason why. Now, they may just be generally good people just watching, mediocre, third-hand, like Z-class entertainment, which is what we are here at BRG. Highly doubt it, right? So, I've got to protect what's ours. Now, unfortunately, I haven't checked my analytics in a while. As many of you know, I've been racing to try to get a half a dozen engines built so we can save our season. So my YouTube analytics haven't necessarily been that high up in my priority list. But the first thing I checked when I got back here to my laptop was that, and India was in the number 3 spot. So, changing passwords was a little too late for that because I had to leave everything same so I could get everything looked into, right? Meaning my YouTube, my Facebook, my bank account. Did they compromise my laptop? Because the laptop I've got right here it never leaves that spot unless we're on the road. and then it's protected through my security service, then my VPN. But did they somehow access that here through my house internet? Don't know. So yeah, that was my big thing. So what had happened is the bank went ahead and closed all my accounts, issued me new cards, which we were protected there. I'm still waiting on those, rather. So, I can't access any BRG money. Obviously, my fraud center, we went ahead and changed all my passwords, my information to Facebook. And then we went ahead and changed, ultimately, all my Facebook or my YouTube passwords, so on and so forth. But again, this is the second time, guys. Now, another way I feel they can get to you, and I'll show you right quick, and that is through emails. These are all offers for people wanting me to make videos for them. They'll send us free tools. They want to come in and do my analytics for me, my SEO, blah, 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 all that jazz. Like, here's 2 more I've gotten since I've been making this video of people wanting to work with BRG. Now, I'm not saying that is a bad thing. However, if you're a smaller channel and you're wanting to get your name out there, or you think it's a good sponsor, or you want somebody to give you something for free, you may be entering into that just a little too fast. You just may be so excited you're not thinking of the concerns, right? Now, I know some YouTube channels out there that have lost their channels engaging with people through email, right? Like, hey, we need your permission to do this on your channel so we can send you a check. Can you give me a password, or can you give me access? Make me a moderator, whatever. And then boom, your channel's gone. You go to click on it, and now it's part of Bitcoin, right? Or some other out of the world thing. Essentially, you've lost your channel is what I'm saying. So I guess is, just be very careful who you want to do business with. Be very careful who you engage with, either through email or messenger, so on and so forth. Because I promise you, you can lose your channel. You can lose your money, so on and so forth. And if you've spent a couple years, tens of thousands of dollars, and Lord knows how much time trying to create like a video platform or a video portfolio to keep out there to become monetized or whatever, you could lose that in the very instant to somebody overseas, and you'll never get it back, and you're going to start over from zero, right? Yeah, so look, guys, I don't know when or if we'll find out who's behind this. I know last time it took a good couple months for them to figure out who was behind the deal last time. They did narrow it down to 2 people. I'm not really for sure whatever happened to that, or if they faced any kind of charges. Last time was basically they just got my YouTube, but they got it bad last time. Again, I'll put a link in the last video in the description. But this time they got into my bank, Facebook, and YouTube. Not sure if they got into anything else. I really don't know. I haven't received any alerts. But I promise you, if they give me out names or information, I'll share it on here. I'll burn that person or persons to the ground, publicly for everybody to see. But it's hard telling. But anyway, those of you who are here for the cars, let me go show you what we got going on. All right, here they are, guys, with all new engines. Noisy Cricket's actually ready to go. He goes out for a dyno test next Monday. We'll see how he does. Wednesday, Grim goes up for a dyno test. And then Friday, Monzilla goes. Then we are going to be on the road. And hopefully our cars can stay healthy this year and we can participate in all the events. I cannot wait. All right, guys, so that's going to be the end for this video for now. The only takeaway I could give you for this is just monitor your passwords, monitor your analytics, keep an eye on your stuff, right? Most of us have, a lot of money into our YouTubes and social media platforms, trying to build, a good video portfolio or a good portfolio on Facebook, so on and so forth. Keep an eye on that stuff because it does have value. And with anything else in this world that has value, other people will try to take it from you. It's just the way it is. Fortunately, I was really lucky this time. I implemented a lot of processes this time, right? Two-part verifications. I make sure that I get text messages anytime something weird's going on. If we go out of state, I always contact my bank or my financial institution to let them know, hey, I'm going to be in Florida or Michigan or Iowa or wherever. That way that I'm protected in that area if my money is being used. And if I'm not in that area, shut it down. But anyway, you guys know the deal. I love you. I hope this helps you. I really do. I just wanted to give you an update on what's going on. I couldn't really touch my accounts until they got everything figured out. But anyway, again, I appreciate you watching. We'll catch you next time. BRG